Hello and welcome into this week's edition of the NASCAR Xfinity Series Rewind Show right here on Racing News Now. As always, I'm your host, Garth Allen. Thank you once again for joining me today. If this is your first time catching a Racing News Now video, consider going down below and hitting that subscribe button and ringing the bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing going forward from RNN. On today's edition of the Xfinity Rewind, we're looking back at last night's 37th annual Food City 300. 310 laps, a little bit into overtime, so I guess we could call it the Food City 310. 165 miles around the half-mile Bristol Motor Speedway, Bristol, Tennessee. Had a few incidents on the night. It's Bristol, of course, we're going to. 8 cautions for 59 laps. First one didn't come out, though, until lap 71. And that was when Kyle Busch got into the wall in turn number 4 after dominating the early portions of the race. That would basically be the end of the night for him after he got into the wall from blowing his, I believe it was the right front tire. Stage 1 concluded a few laps later, lap 85. Your Stage 1 winner would be Kyle Larson. Stage 2, we had a lot happening. First caution lap 106 as the 01 of Vinnie Miller and the 76 of Spencer Boyd got together in turn number 1. Lap 143, Chase Briscoe in the 60 car this week had a little incident on the front stretch, brought out the caution. Lap 161, the 01 of Vinnie Miller spins again in turn number 2, second caution on the night involving Vinnie Miller. Stage 2 concluded at lap 170. Stage 2 also went to Mr. Kyle Larson. And then a couple of incidents in the third stage. First one at lap 260 for the 40 car of Chad Fincham spinning down the backstretch and into the inside wall. And lap 300, the final caution of the night, the 21 car of Daniel Hemrick got into the inside wall in the backstretch, setting up overtime because he had this incident just before they got to the white flag. So this caution did not end the race, instead sent them into overtime. Leaders on the night, Kyle Larson far and above led the most laps after Kyle Busch had his incidents. 202 of the 310 laps were led by Kyle Larson. 69 laps early on led by Kyle Busch. 18 led by Christopher Bell. 12 went to Elliott Sadler. 5 laps to Cole Custer. And 2 laps apiece went to Joey Logano and Chase Elliott. All right, so let's get into your results on the night. Kyle Larson would be your winner on the night. Not a surprise after he led 202 laps in this race. Got a pretty good fight there in overtime, though, from Justin Allgaier. Allgaier had a great restart. Unfortunately, unfortunately for Allgaier, it's very hard to beat Kyle Larson at a predominantly top groove track when Larson has the top groove. It's very hard to do. Christopher Bell ends up getting by Justin Allgaier for the second position. Allgaier fell to third in the final 2 laps there in overtime. Cole Custer and Joey Logano rounded out the top 5. Rest of your top 10. Elliott Sadler, a great run for Michael Annett, clawing his way a little bit closer back into the playoff picture. Chase Elliott and 8th. Tyler Reddick and Matt Tifft rounded out the top 10. 11th through 20th, last car on the lead lap. A good run for Ryan Sieg, also someone trying to claw his way back into the playoff picture. Didn't make up many points on the cut line, though, as we see here Ross Chastain, who is currently 12th in points, finished 12th, 1 spot behind Ryan Sieg. So Sieg really not making up that many points. Austin Cindric in the 12 car this week came home in the 14th position. Ty Dillon there in 15th. Ryan Reed came home in the 17th position. 21st through 30th, an off night for Ryan Truex, 8 laps off the pace in 22nd. Daniel Hemrick, after his issue there on the backstretch, to set up overtime. 24th on the night for Daniel Hemrick. Brandon Jones also had a bunch of issues throughout the night. Ended up 29th, 50 laps down behind the wall with suspension issues. And 31st through 40th, we see Chase Briscoe down here. We talked about his accident. 34th on the night for Chase Briscoe. Then Kyle Busch landed in the 36th position after his accident early on. All right, so that's your results for the Food City 300. Let's slide over to the Media Center, and we'll see what your top finishers on the night had to say after this one.
Yeah, I thought we had a shot at him if it stayed green. Heck, even with the yellow, I thought we were still going to have a shot at him, but that second to last run, whenever I was leading some laps and me and Kyle were really equal, I told my crew chief Jason that I couldn't afford to be any looser. And he tightened up for the last run and just tightening up and then restarting on the bottom and then lost track position and just couldn't ever get back up there to challenge him. I wasn't good enough to pass those guys. So we got a couple bad restart lines, which put us back in the field, but the most important one there on the green, white checkered, we got the right restart line, so that's all that matters.
I don't know that I ever had the lead. Got lucky on that last restart there, and we were struggling all night. I mean, that's probably the hardest, however many laps it was, 300 laps that I've run at Bristol in a long time. I've been sick all week, and we just never really hit a balance that felt good throughout the course of the weekend. And in that race, it was just a battle of perseverance. And, we put ourselves in a shot at the end, and that's all you can ask for. Great points day for us. And, the last restart, I knew Kyle was going to try and go late, and he spun the tires. And we were even getting into one, and I'd run the middle quite a few times and felt like I could make up a little bit of ground through the middle. And he knew I was probably going to go to the middle too. And so we actually touched doors a little bit and just kind of killed some of our momentum, and then got a little bit of a shot from Christopher, and just way too free on that last restart to really be able to battle it out for a win. But all in all, just a solid night, great points night for us, and we've had a great month of August so far, so I can't complain. Just wish we could have had a little bit more there at the end to battle it out with Kyle and Christopher.
No, I haven't started looking for a broom. I obviously know how tough these are to win, so just thankful for the opportunity, and you have a really good car for tomorrow as well. So I got half of the job done. It would be awesome to get 2 wins here this weekend. I've said it a lot, but I've always been fast here. Just come up short there at the end of the races. So I think I've learned a lot about this place and how to be good on the long run. So I'm excited about tomorrow. I think there'll be a lot of long runs. The track will go through a lot of changes, and I felt like I learned a lot about the changes that it might go through tonight's race.
And it's time to take a look at your playoff grid before we wrap up here tonight. And really no changes here. Nobody has really changed positions here other than Cole Custer above Daniel Hemrick after Hemrick's issues and 24th place finish in Bristol. But he's still so good on points that it just doesn't really make a difference for him. He doesn't need to win a race at this point. He is very securely locked into the playoffs at this point. Really what I'm looking at is still the cutoff line down here. We have 4 races left until the Xfinity playoffs. We have Darlington, Indy, Road America, and Vegas remaining until the playoffs. Ross Chastain, Michael Annett, 42-point gap here at the cutoff line. It is still feasibly possible if Michael Annett can continue to put together top 10 runs like he did at Bristol this week, he could still point his way into the playoffs depending on what Ross Chastain does for the next 4 weeks. Is it likely? No, I don't think so. Is it possible? Yes. And we're going to keep a very close eye on this because I think that Michael Annett really is the only one with a chance to still point his way into the playoffs at this point. Ryan Sieg, Jeremy Clements, Alex LeBay, any of the rest of these guys outside the top 12, they have to win a race. And if we're looking at somebody outside the playoffs to win a race and kind of surprise everybody and make their way into the playoffs, I'm looking at this next race at Road America. I think that is the race that if somebody is going to surprise us and get into the playoffs with a win, I think that is the race they are going to do it. Because we saw it last year. Jeremy Clements surprised everybody, wins at Road America, and makes his way into the playoffs. So I'm looking at this next week at Road America. That's the race I'm looking at. If one of these guys outside the playoffs is going to win a race and get into the playoffs, I think it's going to be at Road America. It'll be exciting to watch. All right, so that is your playoff grid following the Food City 300 to Bristol, and I think that will do it for us tonight. We will have a Cup Series rewind. It will have to be tonight because I'll be at the track at Springfield all day tomorrow, so it'll probably go up late tonight sometime, and it will not be at this set. It will be probably from the hotel room in Springfield, so I don't know what that's going to look like. May not have the greatest lighting, may not have the greatest audio. I'm going to do what I can for that. So that will be tonight, a Cup Series rewind for the Bass Pro Shops NRA night race from Bristol, and then live coverage from the track from the Illinois State Fairgrounds dirt track for the ARCA Racing Series tomorrow. They are first on track 9 a.m. for practice tomorrow in early morning, and then just very busy day throughout their early afternoon race, so very quick, bang, bang, bang throughout the day. So we will have stuff going up for you. We'll have driver interviews from the track, and who knows what else. I'll try to stick some other stuff in there. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do besides driver interviews yet, but we'll try to stick in some other coverage for you from there as well. We'll just see what I can come up with there from the track. So if you're not already subscribed, you need to go down below and hit that subscribe button, ring the bell so you don't miss any of that. Anything going forward, but especially this coverage from the track for the ARCA race tomorrow and any other races we do going forward for the rest of the season. We do have a few more on the docket for the season as well. And you want to ring that bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing going forward, so you get a notification every single time we post a video. And hit that big thumbs up button on this video if you liked it. It is much appreciated when you do. So with that, this has been the NASCAR Xfinity Series Rewind Show. I'm Garth Allen for Racing News Now.